We got about a minute to go, but I see everybody checking in online on the chat, so I wanted to say good morning. We got a special guest coming in here pretty soon. We all know and love him as Chris and Rick from Chicago, and they're having some special guests. Vance Grady joined us, which I did not know is related to Rick. So this should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Turn the sound off to the computers. Good morning. Hey, Quick Honey and Miss Quick Honey. Michelle and Brian's in the house. We got Roseanne. I saw Jackie in there earlier. We got. You want to share the. And our special guest host. There she is. All right. Chris and Rick, if you're listening, hit your link and we'll get you added to the screen, okay? Huh?
Okay, so what do I?
Just right here.
You have coffee?
I have coffee. Ellen's in the house. Diana Boyd's in the house.
Am I going to be able to hear from over here or no?
Well, I can't have the sound here and here on my thing. That's why I said just use the second earpiece.
Okay.
Stacy Sample's in the room. We're going to do dueling earpieces here, so. Oh my gosh. What's up, Dean? Hey, Randy. There she is. There's the add-on. We're going to add them right now. Our favorite guest from Chicago, Illinois should be joining here any second. There they are.
Hey,
Hey,
good morning.
what's going on?
Sorry, I'm late.
There's Chris, Rick, and I'm assuming Vance Grady.
You got it. Yay.
So all of us that did not know, we all thought with the name Vance on the screen that it was a gentleman, but is that a pseudo name for Vance?
Yes, it is a pseudo name.
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Oh, she's still making coffee. So what is Vance for? What's your real
What's
name?
Vance for?
Oh, Vance.
Can you hear Mary?
I can hear everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Mary. Oh, it's Mary.
From Vance Grady. Sorry.
We're so happy to have you guys on the channel. We had Indiana in the house last week. Now we got Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois. Quick shout outs. We want to thank Stacy for opening up the show last month, and it's our anniversary coming up June 4th next week. And next week's guest is Paul and Mark from SoCal Keno. But we're going to jump right into Chris and Rick this week. First of all, everybody, welcome to the show. It's a chance to meet all of our favorite viewers from around the country and the globe. We might go to. I have a chance to get Kimbo the Kiwi. I'm reaching out to Kimbo the Kiwi. We'll get a guest from New Zealand maybe coming up. He hasn't answered my request yet, but I'll send that out. But I got some notes from Rick and Chris from Chicago about we want to break down their family. Is it true? Is it true that you can trace back your family to Ellis Island?
Yes, we can. My dad came over from Italy, Castelvecchio, Italy.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me. When he was 6, him and his 3 sisters and his mom came over on 4th of July.
On the 4th of July.
Oh,
on
wow.
the 4th of July. He was 6 years old. So that was 1927.
Wow.
Came through Ellis Island.
That's amazing.
And the poor guy thought it was a war because of all the fireworks.
Oh,
He had no idea what was happening.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Exactly.
Us younger folks, I'm younger, I'm almost 60, but we don't even know how long they've been shooting fireworks for 4th of July. So I didn't know they were doing that far back. And how elaborate were fireworks shows back in the 20s? Now they're
probably good.
Crazy now.
they're probably really good.
It was pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
we're just thankful that he made it over and kept pushing. And him and my mom met. And the rest is our history.
Right.
So it's all good.
And what's so cool is now you're sitting in my kitchen on my screen and we're talking to the country right now.
Let me go. I'm gonna go on here.
Isn't it fantastic?
It's
Yes,
fantastic.
we are talking to the country, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to you and Ellen
Oh,
for bringing us into your home and into everybody else's home on this wonderful Memorial Day weekend, where we have to just say thank you to everyone
man.
who has ever served, because freedom is not free, and we
Yeah.
have to say thank you to our first responders and our wonderful police and firemen,
Yeah.
because they are wonderful, so we could live and not be in fear.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I could probably end the show right there. It's funny because my dad was Navy, my stepfather was Marine Corps, my brother was a Marine and a police officer, my younger brother's a police officer,
Your son
my
is
cousin's Navy, my oldest son is a Navy veteran. We're a very heavy military family. So I appreciate everything you just said, and I think it rings a lot of bells with our viewers as well. So I appreciate what you just said. That's an amazing thing to say. So now I read the notes that I took on you guys. You guys met in 1980, and you got married on June 11th, which is Ellen's birthday. And
Yes,
but you got
it
married
is.
you guys got married on June 11th of 1983, which is crazy. That's the exact day I graduated high school in San Diego. So we were celebrating.
Oh my! So I was like 5 years old when I got married, then, huh?
Turn that sound down.
Oh, sorry.
So we were celebrating me with my 2.67 GPA, and you guys is your wedding. So.
And we were celebrating. Believe you me,
I bet you now. Yeah, go ahead.
It was great. It had just been 3 days before. It was about 28 degrees. So all the boys had wool suits. And on our wedding day, it was 98 with about 88% humidity.
Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It went from night and day. That's how Chicago is. It goes from you're freezing to you're dying from the heat. And the church we were in, St. Bonaventure, our wonderful parish church where I grew up, had no air conditioning. So it was like a sweat bath in there.
That's crazy. So Ellen and I are sitting here in San Diego, and it's a brisk. We're both got sweaters on today. It's 65 degrees, and we're chilly. So
it's still early though.
And it'll be about 70. And sunny here.
Oh wow,
man! So when I chatted with you last night, you guys were watching the Cubs game.
Yes, we were, and unfortunately, Cincinnati did a number on our boys. So we'll just move on to the next thing, okay?
That's what's great about baseball. There's 162 games, so you can always watch it tomorrow. So I want to say you guys honeymooned in Las Vegas.
Yes, we did. We had a 2-week vacation. We had the first week was in Vegas, and the second week was up in the Wisconsin Dells. But the first week was the first time I had ever been on a plane.
No way.
First time I actually, as an adult.
Yeah.
So it was rather interesting. The one thing I will say about our Vegas honeymoon that can be said is those hotels are a lot bigger than you think. You think they're right down two steps and you're there. No. We walked from the Riviera all the way down to Harrah's, and I had my high heels on. We were just dressed to the nines. By the time I got there, they had to bring a chair out and wheel me in because I couldn't walk anymore. And it was about, there it was about 100 degrees and, but you didn't know it was hot because it was dry. They always say it's a dry heat. Oh, yeah, it's a dry heat. It's great. We were sunburned and couldn't walk, and but it was a great time.
I bet. Well, you're young and you got married. You've been married for a day or two. And what's crazy, you said your first time you ever played Keno which is the same place I played Keno, was at Slots of Fun.
Oh God.
Yep. Lots
That's
of fun.
crazy.
The
Was
dollar
the
hot
first,
dogs.
the first place. Yep. The foot-long hot dogs
Yes.
and the
And all you can
99-cent
Pancakes.
shrimp cocktail.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my
You
gosh.
know,
We're gonna start talking. We would go to the
exactly.
boardwalk
Mary
and have
says the
the
$3 beers. I mean,
Yes.
we were in our glory. Let me tell you, them giving us free alcohol, they're losing big time.
Oh my gosh, they're losing big time. They lose on me. I don't drink much anymore, but I remember Ellen always
Or
talks
any
about
less?
what's that?
Any more or any less?
I don't drink. I'm not a drinker anymore. So
A little bit.
I
When
have
it's
so
free.
I had my
We do.
moments when I was 22, and there's a couple of events that were not my proudest moments. I'll just say
We
that.
all have them, so we just
Yes.
move forward.
But you guys all know I'm a big goofball, so I don't need to drink to be goofy. I'm already goofy, so I
No, you are wonderful. You are a
thank
wonderful, wonderful human being. And
oh,
if
yes.
anybody tries to get you or say that about you, they're going to have to go through us. You're part of the family now. So, 100% Italian, Goomba, you are now in the family. So,
I'm just telling you guys, I'm connected now. I'm connected.
I grew up in an
yes,
Italian
you are
neighborhood.
connected. You know a guy and a girl.
This is awesome. So, did you guys win at Slots of Fun?
I think we won every place we went in.
What?
Oh,
Because we were together, number one. And number two, I think we maybe gambled maybe $100 between the two of us because
Yeah.
back then they actually let you play.
Right.
It took a while to put those quarters in.
Well, every game is almost just forever because you got to feed.
Yes, it did take a while to put the quarters in. You are correct.
And you always had that one machine that would put it in and would spit it out, and you put it in and spit it out. And like, come on.
Well, that was the best part of it because then if you were with friends, if somebody was losing, you could take a bunch of quarters, give it to them. They would go to the next machine. But
That's
now
right.
with these ticky things, yeah.
Right. So do you I'll get to your gambling stories later on. We want to break down it's in your notes that I got from you said the favorite team of all time was the 85 Bears, the Chicago Bears with Ditka.
84. Oh, 85, sorry.
The Bears, big time. All the boys, at this point, unfortunately, I cannot recite everybody, but I used to be able to know every guy and their position, and you never missed. Here's the funny part of it. We moved in, and all of our neighbors knew that there was either a Bulls game, a Bears game, a Cubs game on. When they heard me screaming and yelling, at first they thought I was being killed. But they finally figured it out that if there was a game on, I was screaming and yelling for our team. So they figured out, okay, then they would kind of come by and scream, hey, what channel are you watching? We want to watch too. So we know what's going on.
It's funny that happens in our house too. Is when the Chargers were here, I had season tickets to the Chargers for 17 years, and they up and left. So I don't cheer for the Chargers anymore. I don't boo them. I just don't care if they win or lose at this point. It's all about the Padres and San Diego State. And San Diego State usually, because the Padres is they frustrate the heck out of us. And I've always told them there's not one team I've ever cheered for has ever won a thing. So I don't know what winning a championship's like. So I like.
You know why, Bubba? Because you used all your luck with that lady next to you.
Oh,
these are like the nicest people. You guys are so amazing. But
my dad always said he was lucky in love when he met my mother. My mother was and still is passing on her luck to all of us kids. My two sisters and my brother and myself. We are very, very lucky. And I know she's looking down and she kind of steers us in the correct direction to go and buy this casino or go buy this scratchy ticket. And it's a good thing. But being lucky in love, I think, is the most important part of it.
This is amazing. You're right. I am lucky. We met at work in the early 80s. We got hired a week apart in 1985 at SeaWorld, and we were best friends for 6 years. and
I don't know how to get these
we
things
did
so you can all
everything
hear this.
together. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but all of our other devices are not working, so I'm the only one that can hear what's going on.
Oh, okay. Do you have a computer next to you so you can guys
Well,
watch?
no, she's at the casino.
Well, I'm afraid to get reverberation going. You know,
Yeah.
we have the TV on, we have other devices, but if they turn the sound on, we're afraid of having
Yeah, you're
issues.
good. We'll make it work. Is that a Keno machine in your home?
Yes, sir, it is.
At the casino.
Oh my God!
Behind us, it is a Keno machine. When we started watching you guys and Quick Hundy, Rick went online looking for a machine that we could buy that wasn't going to break the bank. So we gave that to each other for Christmas.
That's
Wow.
About 2 years ago during COVID, because you couldn't go anywhere. So we're like, okay, let's just do this. So we found a really nice place in Ohio. The gentleman there is phenomenal. And if I could remember his name, I'd give you the link. But he walked us through everything, and they shipped it to us. And the guys were wonderful that they came in. They brought it into our house because this thing is not light. It's so heavy. But we had made a stand for it. They brought it in. They unpacked it. They put it on the stand. 1, 2, 3. It was wonderful.
Just like Steve I says, it's easy as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, exactly. And if you see it behind us, we kind of sort of have some numbers on there. You might.
Oh, there they are! I got the bells on the screen. There it is, right there.
Wow.
That's so great. You know, because Stacy had her notes that she wrote down when she first saw the channel. She had this rickety old scraggly piece of paper last week with all her notes that she still uses to this day. Pretty cool. It's funny because you say like Wayno has, I think he has like 9 or 10 slot machines in his house, and he says he uses those machines to practice his Keno numbers.
Well, you know, it kind of lets you get through the, you know, when you got an itch and you don't have the money to go back yourself up. So it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, I'm gonna jump from the Bears to. We'll go to your Cubs in a second, but I want to talk about the 1984 Cubs first.
All right, you have to go there, don't you? I saw that and I was like, okay, Bubba, we have to just poke the bear, or poke the cub, pun intended or pun intended.
So, I've only been to the world. So I remember your team. You had Ryan Sandberg and Bob Dernier and Rick Sutcliffe and the big guy at first base. I forget his name right off the top of my head, but without him letting the ball go through his legs to get us let Tony Gwynn come to bat, and then Steve Garvey hit a home run. We got to go to the World Series and get blown out by the Detroit Tigers.
Well, that was the Cubs' curse.
Yes. Speaking of that,
if you beat us, you might not go. Or it was just all of us cursing all of you because you did do what you did, and we won't go any further. Well, let's just leave it at that and go on to a more positive subject. Nudge, nudge.
Well, here's the next positive subject. So before you guys won the series in 2016, there was a little Steve Bartman incident a few years prior to that. What was your experience with the Steve Bartman thing and the fly ball to Moses Alou in left field?
Well, we were watching it. We saw that. And the first thing we said was, no, don't touch it. No, where everybody was in unison screaming at the screen. Don't touch it. We knew this guy's life was over.
Because
he had to move, Chicago, right? We finally made it this far, and you're going to do this to us? What are you, stupid? Unbelievable. Absolutely.
He was an infamously famous celebrity for about he had to move. Didn't he move out of town?
Yes, he did. He moved down to Florida because he had death threats and all kind of terrible things happening to him. And I felt bad for him for about this long, and then I kind of went along with everybody else because, come on, he was a stupid person. You don't interfere with the game.
Yeah.
If you guys are unfamiliar with the event, the Cubs were literally 4 outs away from going to the World Series, and there was a fly ball and the light went foul, and this tiny little guy who was also surrounded by other people who stuck their hands up, but it hit him, and Moses Alou was going to catch the ball to end the inning, and it hit this guy's hands, and Alou went nutso, and then the next 5 batters all got hits, and the Cubs lost the game. Then they lost the next game, and they never let that guy live or breathe. They chased him out of the stadium. They had to get a security escort. It was, and his name was Steve Bartman. That name will live forever. But your Cub, tell me about your World Series championship team.
Oh, our boys. You know when the stars align,
Yes.
everything fell into place. My very good friend, who I put in the Mary Nemus Grubik, we do shots for every run. We were basically, when we would see each other, we would make up every time. We would make up for all the runs that we had. A lot of fun during that series. It was wonderful.
And what's so cool is Rizzo, former Padre, Rizzo, your first baseman, every out, he tucked the ball into his back pocket so that ball would not go anywhere but in his back pocket.
Oh, yeah. We knew when he put that in his pocket, we all said, I wonder who he's going to give that to. And sure enough, he gave it to Joe, the coach, on the stage of their parade.
Joe Madden.
Parade day. Yeah, Joe Madden. On the parade day, on stage, he handed it to him, and you did not have a dry eye in the house.
I mean, Chicago went a long time. Then I think it's San Diego is close. We're the last major sports team that has not won a championship, I think, in Major League Sports at this point. I think, no, because Seattle won a Super Bowl. So I think we're running out of teams to be feeling sorry for ourselves. So anyway. And I want
but
you to
the weather's way too nice, so you have that in your favor, and we'll just go from there.
You know, until this ownership group got a hold of the Padres, it was called the San Diego discount because they knew they could pay players less because they got to live in San Diego. But now this new ownership group, we got a team full of superstars and they can't score a run. But and that's another story. Hey, I want you to talk about your favorite Cub,
Ron Santo.
He
is the all-time favorite for me. My dad and I used to go to the Cubs games, and he would take each of us. And when he took me, it was usually a Sunday, and he would pay for box seats, which back then was the ultimate.
And
it was the
you only had day games then. You only had day games then, right?
I'm sorry?
You only had day games then.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. It was the ultimate because I got to be there with my dad. He taught me how to score, the scorecard.
Yeah.
He taught me so much, but his love for Santo still lives in me. We used to listen to Ron Santo when he became a sportscaster on WGN, and we would be driving up to our place up north, and in the car, we're listening to Santo do the play-by-play, and it was like you were sitting in the seats at Wrigley.
Yeah.
He was just phenomenal at everything he did, and he means so much to me. When he passed, it was a legend.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we had him for a short time, and God needed him more. So I have to go from there.
You know, I had we almost named our youngest son Anthony Gwynn Spitzer, but she didn't like the name Gwynn there because she thought but I go, Tony Gwynn was my guy.
Tony Gwynn, yes.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn was my guy, and you know, I got to spend because he lives just here in San Diego. He was a San Diego guy. He's called Mr. Padre. There's a statue in front of the stadium called Mr. Padre, and I've had 3 one-on-ones with him. I'm not an autograph guy. I'm just, hey, nice meeting you, shake your hand, and he stopped and talked to me one-on-one at that Aztec football games preseason. They have this thing called Family Day where every sports team in the school, the badminton team, the track team, and the baseball team, or whatever, they're all there in front of the stadium and they show, hey, there's a batting tee, or they throw the football and they give away, football stuff. But Tony Gwynn had a moment where him and I just talked San Diego sports for half an hour.
Yeah, for a long time.
I'll bet that had to be for you like the ultimate, where he gave you his time, which is
because
the most precious.
Because when does Tony Gwynn have time? He's surrounded all the time, right? And we just
That's
talked
because you're such a good guy, Bubba. He knew it,
and nobody was around you guys. It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
That was their moment. That's why.
It's funny because I coached I've worked at SeaWorld for 38 years now, but I also coached high school basketball locally for 15 years. I won a city title as a coach my first year, and thought I was the easiest thing in the world. And then we only got to the finals one more time. But we talked sports, and I'm not saying I know everything, but we didn't talk about him, his thing, and me or nothing. We talked about kids locally and kids on his team, because he left the Padres, and his next job was the head coach of the San Diego State baseball team at San Diego State. So a lot of the local kids that were not signing with San Diego State in those days were now signing with San Diego State because of the Tony Gwynn connection.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Really cool. He's just a good guy. And if you don't know, his son is now the broadcaster for the Padres, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So he still has connections.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And his son
sounds just like
him.
And he played professional. He played
Tony Gwynn Jr. played ball for about 7 years. Yeah, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres,
whatever,
Brewers.
Yeah.
And ironically, the year we had Trevor Hoffman has his big 500 save year, and we're literally one pitch away from going to the next round of the playoffs. Tony Gwynn Jr. came in and pinch hit for the Brewers and knocked us out of the playoffs on one swing. Like of all the guys to do it to, is Tony Gwynn Jr. So that's crazy. I want to. This is the one question. There's two questions I have to ask you. Well, I already know the answer: Cubs or White Sox.
Come on now.
But I know. But my question is, why can't people do both?
You can't. No, you can't.
Okay, either you're a North Sider or a South Sider.
Right.
We were taught you don't cross the line. Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the line. Either you're a North Side or a South Side, and that's it. Now, I have one family member that is a Sox fan. That's my sister, my oldest sister, Victoria, who married one of the biggest Sox fans.
Oh, gosh.
So she is sorry, Victoria, a traitor and went to the other side. But I understand because my sister's husband, Danny, they will be married 50 years September 8th.
So it worked. It worked.
So it worked, and they have two boys who are also Sox fans. Here's the thing. I will root for the Sox if the Cubs are not playing. If they are playing against each other, of course I am a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
But I have many friends that, no, you only root for the Cubs. That's it. That's the way it is.
How far are the stadiums apart?
One's on the south side, one's on the north side. Far.
Oh, it's far. We saw it. I know we drove by, but I don't know how close they are.
Okay.
We got to go.
As Rick just said, the only time you break the line is if they make it to the World Series, which the Sox did, I think, 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Tony La Russa.
Yes, which is a contradictory in terms because he will always be a Cardinal.
And you hate the Cardinals.
I hate the Cardinals. Hate the Cardinals. Hate the Green Bay Packers. Those are dirty words in my house. But I know. Tell us how you really feel, right?
Well, this is great because if you know, you know. If you're diehard, I'm a diehard San Diego sports fan.
Big Cats and Jamie and all them, you know. You know. All good.
You already know.
You already know. That's it. Exactly.
That says it all, because I feel the same way, because a lot of our team, like our Clippers, they used to be the San Diego Clippers, now they're the LA Clippers, so I'm a quasi fan. They still have nothing to cheer about, and the Chargers left, and I hang my head on the Padres, and I told my wife, and she thinks I'm not going to do it, but the day any of my teams wins the championship, I will strip down to a red Speedo and run down the middle of my street with nothing else on but a red Speedo. Just put that in your mental Rolodex. I will do that. I'll probably lose
I
my
will
job,
write
but
that one down. I will definitely write that one down. I would like to do one thing. I'd like to give Vance my earpiece and have her.
yes,
Oh, we got to ask her about the pizza
Okay,
first.
so if you can hang on one second.
Okay.
absolutely.
There you are.
Hey, Mary.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, Mary, how you doing?
Good.
So you get the most important question of the day, okay?
Who's
It's the most important
Who's this
question.
imposter?
You ready? The most important question of the day. First of all, it's Mary. Vance, tell us how you got the name Vance Grady if your name is Mary.
It's really no big deal. I didn't have a phone, and my son had his phone, and he was playing games, Clash of Clans, and so I kind of inherited Vance, and I liked Vance, so I kind of
that's a cool name. Vance. Yeah.
So V77 said the same thing I said. We all thought Vance Grady was a guy, so I always kept, hey,
yeah,
thanks, buddy.
So was everybody.
Thanks a lot, guy.
That's
so,
right.
Mary, you get the most important question of the whole interview.
Because you guys know how good Chicago pizza is.
Is it Lou Malnati's pizza or Giordano's pizza?
Oh, Lou Malnati's for sure.
I know, that's the best. Oh my gosh, that is definitely the best.
Yeah, we really love Lou Malnati's.
So we did
both.
We did both, but my sister who lives in Dallas.
Oh, and I have JB behind me, so everybody thought I was JB and he was Vance.
Oh, look at the lens.
Red, white, and blue.
A funny thing, my parents, my mom's name was Maurice because it was Mary Bernice shortened.
Oh, I love
that. And my
dad's
name was Faye, Richard really, but Faye was his nickname. And so everybody always thought that, it was switched.
Opposite, yeah.
Well, Randy,
and this is JB behind us.
Randy just said he didn't know Chicago had a team. So, because I think Randy's a Pack. Randy, are you a Packers guy? They might. Since I'm now connected to the Italians, I might have to send somebody
out there. Foursome. Here's the four Musketeers, and go to Vegas together, and we do a lot of things. And you couldn't find a nicer group of people, and these four guys and my three guys and my family.
I'll tell you guys out loud. Brian and Michelle and I and John and Wayne and Rob and Brenda and JoJo talk about all of our viewers all the time, and you guys as a group, you're always mentioned because you guys are so kind to so many people, and you're always in our chats and you're always supporting. And I've got emails from Chris on the side, and you guys are so supportive. And and Elle and I don't want to get emotional here because I'm kind of an emotional guy, but I go, we love all the support from everybody, but and I'm not singling you out for say, but you guys are so supportive of every one of us, and you're always there, and we can't thank you enough.
We love the Hundies, Michelle and Brian, and you, Bubba and Ellen, and Doris, and all of the wonderful people. It's a real big family, and I just want to say hi. Yeah. I've got twin sons that are IT professionals, and our grandson Paul, he just graduated high school from DePaul Prep. He already got his Eagle, and today he's at a chess tournament.
Wow!
Hi to Roseanne and all the great people.
Wow,
that's amazing. When Chris said that, hey, Vance is going to join, I go, oh, he's going to be there. She said, no, Vance was a shoe. So she sent me the notes and said, Vance is Chris's Rick's sister. You're Rick's sister?
Yes, Rick's sister.
But you guys are inseparable, it looks like.
We're 4 peas in a pod.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't that great?
I'm going to give this back to Chris because I'm a little nervous.
Chris is not afraid to talk.
Yeah, I'm Italian. I could talk about anything. You just got to get me going. That's all. I've been nervous since you said, "Do you want to do this?" And I'm like,
"No."
Oh no. I haven't really talked. I don't normally talk in front of people. I'm always the the organizer and get everything done, and then I'm the background person.
Oh, that is Ellen in a nutshell.
Yeah, because I
think
don't
she's doing
even
good,
want to
so.
be on camera.
It's funny because she doesn't like to be on camera, and I tell her that everybody loves being on camera. There were 3 questions on this thing that she was supposed to ask that she don't want to ask, so I'm going to make her ask this one though for sure.
Okay, we've been to Chicago. Love Chicago. What are the must-dos in Chicago?
Okay, what are
If
the
you go there,
must-dos in Chicago?
besides eat
Okay.
pizza and see Wrigley Field?
That's in big letters right there at the bottom. Must do.
I
in
would
Chicago.
say Wrigley.
Mhm.
If you can, even if the Cubs aren't playing, must do's. Yes, must do's in Chicago. I would say if you come to Chicago, come down by Wrigley Field. They have really made it a family area, and the restaurants and the memorabilia. It's it just absolutely a must do. We have next to San Diego, because I was in San Diego. My sister, Mary Jo, and Mike, and her 2 boys lived in San Diego for about 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, when we came, we always went to all your wonderful museums and the zoo and SeaWorld and everything. So I would say go on Lakeshore Drive and come and see our just the lake. Okay, our lake is open to everyone. There is all common area where you can walk right up to Lake Michigan. We have Navy Pier, which is phenomenal. Second City, which is where all the great comedy people came.
Oh, wow.
It's a welcoming city. Right now, we're in a little turmoil. However, I feel that that's going to change. So I think people want the change back to being more safe. But I would just say do everything during the day.
Oh.
And
we
you know what I'm saying? Because nobody, the nightlife is great, but I would say for a out-of-towner, come do the bean, do all the stuff during the day. We have beautiful weather during the like now through middle of September or so.
Yeah.
I know San Diego, you have wonderful weather after 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we have the marina.
Everything burns
off.
Even
noon, even 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, but Chicago is, I've lived here all my life. I don't want to move anywhere. I wish they would lower the taxes. But other than that, it is a great place to live.
Wow.
Nice.
You heard it here, folks. We're all moving to Chicago. And you get to hang out with Chris, and we're going to go to the Lou Malnati's for dinner. So.
Absolutely.
Best pizza.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh. Love that pizza.
So do you I'm going to get into some the Keno stuff we're looking for. Is there a place you guys go Keno-ing at casinos nearby?
Okay, nearby, we have in the Chicago area, they started having restaurants and stuff have machines.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes. Keno machines and different slot machines. So we started going to a nice place in Niles, Illinois, which is like hop, skip, and a jump, maybe 8 blocks or a couple miles away from our house.
Wow.
It's an Italian restaurant called Amici. They have 6 machines in there. We get our fix, and then we come home.
Wow.
So we don't have to go far, but if you want to go to a casino, we usually go to the Indiana casinos. Horseshoe is a fairly large casino where you can actually play a little. They have poker rooms and that kind of stuff, and it's right off the expressway.
That's right. We drove into it and turned around and came back.
And now we just found a brand new casino opening. It's called The Temporary. It's in Waukegan, Illinois. It's straight up 94, and we were there We hadn't been to a casino in at least a year,
Okay.
and we went and I played on $20 for 2.5 hours and
Oh, that's the
cashed
best.
out
That's the
40.
best. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
that's
a
good.
great day.
Entertainment.
That's exactly it. We know casinos are casinos. They didn't build these huge places
Exactly right.
on
Exactly
winners.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take the $20 that I'm going to throw on the ground and I will play. Exactly, and stomp on it and do. If you can't afford to lose that $20,
Good quick handy rope. Pasta and
go
Keno.
home.
Hey, there's a question that came in for you guys. What, other than your favorite numbers that are right behind you there, do you have a favorite set of numbers you play for each of you?
Yes, I play. I want your numbers. Are there numbers that you play?
Yeah, 51 to 55.
51 to 55. The go-go numbers.
And 21.
Ah.
Go-go
Sports.
sports.
Go Sports.
What is it?
Oh, okay.
21 to 27.
And 21 to 27. That's
Okay.
Vance's favorites.
Okay.
I have the lower right corner, the 6,
Okay.
60, 70, 80, 69, 78, 79. That's mine. But back in, now, you know how you guys all do these great hand pays. Everybody gets so many hand pays. I'm screaming for you when I'm watching.
That's so
I've
awesome.
had one hand pay in all the years I've been
Oh, wow.
playing Keno, and that was 8 out of 9 in the Riviera for $11.75, and I
Oh.
thought I was going to have a heart attack. I mean, I had the lady come over by me, handed me a water, sat me down because I was from head to toe, I was white as a sheet.
Wow.
Because I had never, and back then we're looking at least 25 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. So back then, $11.75 was like
Yeah, a lot.
A mint.
Yeah.
That's a mint right
$5
there.
or $6 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back then, we're two young kids. We didn't have more than 5 cents to rub together.
Yep.
I'll tell you this story. So the Riviera, Ellen and I, our first trip to Vegas together as a couple, just dating at the time, was at the Riviera, and the room cost $7.77.
No, Hacienda.
Hacienda. I'm sorry, Hacienda.
Oh, Hacienda!
Yeah.
Yay!
And
that was a
free
Which is now
free magic
it's now
show.
the Monte Carlo.
Which is, I think, has changed again too. Something else.
Yeah. That's where we went to the Lance Burton. Remember Lance Burton, the magician?
Oh, absolutely.
He was
sure.
great.
That was his first show. It was at the Hacienda when you could stay there for $7, and the show was
Lance Burton.
And free. The show was free.
And the show was
at the Hacienda.
It wasn't free, but it's like $20. And my son.
But that's how it was back then.
Yes. We took my son and his best friend to the show, and I tipped us down to the 4th row. We were sitting way up top. I said, "How do we get down there?" And she said, "Well," I said, "Here's a 20." She goes, "That'll get you 2 of you down there." I said, "Here's another 20." So she puts us in. She goes, "Lance always picks his volunteers from here." So of course, my son's kind of goofing off too much and say, "Hey, dude, you guys switch seats. Sit next to me." And my son's name is Matthew. A minute later, Vance picks my son's friend to be the volunteer. It would have been Matthew. So he ran his friend up to the stage, and he got to disappear in a Ferrari. This car was there, smoke filled the room, and then the car was gone, and my son's friend disappeared. So you could buy this.
It's nicer to watch than it is to be chosen to go up on stage.
Exactly.
So he got to wear you could buy a shirt that says I was with Lance Burton, and then my friend
I disappeared. Huh?
His shirt said I disappeared with Lance Burton. So, yeah.
Oh, what?
So fun. Any more questions out there? This has been a fun interview, you guys.
Sorry, we really didn't keep up with the chat.
Yeah, I want to say hi to all the shout outs. We saw Renee.
I saw Renee said hi. Yeah.
All the people coming in. Everybody, just so much fun. We don't get been 40. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, your thing. I just can't thank you enough. It was so great to meet you guys. Everybody loves having you in all the chats and the support. Always commenting. All you guys are always there.
I really wanted to just say the reason I try to say hello to everybody is because I try to help whoever is doing the
mod.
Yes, I'm trying to help them see.
I need all the help I
can.
can.
Has come into the chat to say hello.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how fantastic it is to have one of you folks that are on the screen doing your live say hello.
Yeah.
It is
Aw.
phenomenal, and I think everybody likes to be
Acknowledge.
acknowledged and feel important, and that's what I
Yeah.
try to do is just say hello. It doesn't hurt anything, and my phone is so good it remembers 98% of the names. So if I put somebody's name in there, that's why I'm so fast. It has the rest of it in there.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
it remembers the names, and I just want to say you and Ellen are phenomenal. Hundy, Mrs. Hundy, Michelle, Brian, BDK, Wayno and JoJo, you guys are awesome. I don't know how you do this in front of people all the time because I am absolutely out of my mind. I was walking back and forth. I have to tell you, as a kid, I was so nervous going to kindergarten. I threw up every morning because I was so nervous
Oh,
going to
Wow.
kindergarten. So I did not do that today, Mary Jo, Ernie, and Victoria. I did not do it. So I broke the chain of being nervous. And that's because of you, Bubba. You are phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so
Phenomenal.
much. I'm going to tell you a story right now that you will not believe. So in high school and growing up, we were Navy kids and we didn't live in the same place for 2 years, maybe a year here, a year there, 2 years there. And it became harder and harder as a kid growing up. I went to 9 different elementary schools when I was growing up.
Wow.
And to make friends over, and you're always the new kid. You're always a kid picked on. You're always a kid picked on. But I was quiet. I was very shy. And I just relied on sports. And then sports got me into conversation because I was a pretty good athlete. And when I got into high school, I was deathly afraid of girls. I couldn't talk to girls. I would throw my lunch away. And I'll never forget, I was 21 years old and I was shy. And I woke up one day and I go, God, being shy sucks. It just sucks. So I just forced myself in conversations. And now they can't shut me up. So, and in my role in my job, I mean, I'm a technical guy. I do a lot of technical filtration work and water quality work, but I have to give a lot of talks. I give a lot of tours to the city council and EPA groups and OSHA groups and a lot. I teach classes for San Diego State. I do one class a semester for this group called Engineers Without Borders, and I teach them how to build potable water plants. And there's another group at UC San Diego, which is they come up with the same thing. So I public speak a lot, and I was horrible at it when I first started 30 some years ago. Now I don't even think about it because if I know what I'm talking about, there's no reason to be nervous, right? So
Well, that's what my sister
Just
Yeah.
be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
said you can be.
Yeah,
The rest of them are taken.
exactly. So and if I say something stupid, guess what? I'm stupid. So okay, so I can't thank you enough for letting all these folks see you in their homes today. It's been so amazing. Just to put a face to your name. I can't thank you enough. Ellen and I talk about all of our viewers all the time, and you're always at the top of the list. And I'm so glad that you were our second guest this time. I want to say thank you to all four of you. Really appreciate you being here.
Well, you guys are, I don't know how else to say it, but you guys are phenomenal. And we appreciate your even asking us. That was like, wow, we're somebody.
No, you are somebody.
So,
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what is that? It's like a KPBS, and all of a sudden it turned into KPBS. No, you really are. I mean, like I always say, I mean, a lot of people do these live streams with channels. I really wanted to focus on you guys because we're not a channel without you guys. We're not a channel without you guys checking in all the time and saying things. Even Randy, the slot wizard, even Randy, we like him checking out in our comments all the time. But we thank you. So, and you don't have to thank us. We're just being a couple of goofball kids. I met Brian
problem
being
thing is not playing well with others.
all right. This whole thing, I said it all the time. This thing started because I met Brian
Yep.
June of 2021, but we talked for a month and we're nervous when we first walked up, and now he's like my big brother. So, my little brother.
Yeah, you're older.
So,
Well, your bromance does show. It does show, your bromance does show on camera when you guys are all together, and it's wonderful. It's like you're real brothers from other mothers. That's all.
That's true. All right. Thanks everybody for coming out. We want to say thank you to Chris, Rick, and Vance Grady, and your husband as well. Good job.
It was our pleasure. It was our pleasure. It was our pleasure. And again, thank you to all the servicemen and women.
Yes, yes.
We love you.
Reason.
Freedom is not free, and we appreciate what you do so we can be free.
All right. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Next week, Paul and Mark from SoCal Keno from Northern San Diego. All right. Love you.
We'll be watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
All right.
Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.